Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to my EyeClarity podcast. This is a show that offers cutting-edge information on how to improve your vision and overall wellness through holistic methods. I so appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have questions, you can send them to hello@drsamberne.com. Now, to the latest EyeClarity episode. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam, and I'd like to welcome you to another EyeClarity podcast. So before we get to our show, if you have any questions, you can always email me, hello@drsamberne.com. I'm also offering a new service. You can text me your questions, 1-844-932-1291. This is for US and Canada. We're also going to be offering a text number for people in the UK, Europe, and Australia, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's get to the show. This is a telemedicine session I did with a gentleman. I saw him at my office, and now we're doing a follow-up. It's a Zoom session. He had a history of a retinal detachment. He's got myopia. And in this session, we touch on many different things. Some include what would be the best prescription for him. He wears contacts and he wears glasses. Also, I talked to him about something called red light therapy and how it could be helpful for his retina. We talk about nutrients, eye drops, and physical eye therapy exercises. So I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for tuning in. How's it going? I mean,
since then, we were in Chicago back then when I saw you, and it's been busy, right, with kids and growing up, and then work and just life in general, and on my health, I think overall health is good. I was always, the few key lessons that I took away from our work in Santa Fe, I think I still apply them. Essentially, if you remember, I had retina detachment issues back in my childhood, and then there was a recurrence of that, due to which I sort of I saw you, and then the primary thing that I think you helped me with your guidance was just letting go of the fear. And I used to see these bubbles and these different white and all these that used to scare me and get me into the fear mode. And one of the more important things I sort of imbibed was getting over that and just being into it and breathing into it. And those sort of artifacts went away. And so that getting over the fear, I think, was very transformative for me during that visit. And the second thing was allowing the peripheral vision to be active. So being aware of the peripheral vision while still having a focus. I think those two things. And then you gave me a few coordination, like neurodevelopment, crawling exercises, and a few others that I did for 6 months. I don't remember how long, but I did the whole range. And I think I was overall stable. I was wearing low prescription glasses. I think -4 on my left and the right, just to balance it. And then over the few years, whenever I had, I did maybe was once I checked myself, my eyes, and the right eye still had basically no detailed vision. Like I could not see any letters on the chart with full prescription, right? Just a lazy eye. But with the left eye, it was reasonably okay. And especially if I relaxed and I could see more. And the doctor was always like, how can you see the same without glasses that you can see with glasses. So the range of motion just by relaxing into the periphery and all that was very powerful. And so I don't understand the fluidity of vision, and I know, I guess, why, but it's just still interesting to observe that on my own eyes, in my own vision.
So, what is your goal today? Where would you like to take this?
So, over the last, since 2021 October, I had, my father became sick, and then I had to, he was sick from, I guess, maybe a year before that, and I visited India to see my family. That was last year, and I just noticed that, and there was at that time it was COVID and the sort of vaccines, and most of the vaccines were sort of causing harm to my family, and my relatives were all dying, and there was that sort of trauma, and the sadness, and then my dad also was basically degenerated into basically a mental, like a wreck. He was just paranoid about something, being sick and this and that. So overall, I think those two things, when I came back, and then over a few months after that, just time wise, I don't know what the cause is, my right vision through my right eye started to blur, as if there's a haze, like those computer image applications, you say, okay, blur me, and then it becomes blurry, right? And then you can clear it up. So like
Yeah.
vision has some blur around, overall, like I'm seeing through a glare, or there's a glare, and then detail vision has also been I mean, in my memory, at least I could hold my, let's say, something close and be able to read letters at close, or maybe look at my mirror and see some detail, but that detail has been affected in my right eye's vision. I can see, like it seems that seeing far away, I can see light, I can see, like through the haze, it seems clear, but that haze, that glare is present. And so I tried some few things on my own. I tried contacting my Ayurveda doctor, and she gave me a couple of herbal medications. There was another ghee. You're familiar with ghee, right? The Indian ghee. So I'm trying the sort of that therapy as well, because he said that there's a lot of heat in your in this portion of the eyes, which has caused sort of the tissues to get affected. And so I'm trying that, and overall I see improvement, meaning the glare has reduced, the blurriness has reduced, but I still don't have detailed vision in my right eye. For example, if I see you right now, I can see the little triangle, behind you, right, the window.
Yes.
But your face is blurry, and I have to come close to recognize you, and then maybe look around, and then like the central foveal vision seems affected. That was one. So I think I'm trying to sort of work on that, and also I'm also I'm following you on Instagram, saw those nitrous oxide and other things. So I'm just taking basic supplements to improve. Also started juice therapy with carrot juice and others.
Okay.
And one other input was I visit a kinesiology doctor. He's very regularly, and then he uses kinesiology, muscle testing, and other combinations to sort of figure out. And according to him, at least, there is nothing functionally wrong in the organ. He seems to indicate stress related, and some brain nervous system, the connection all the way to my eyes, ganglia, somewhere in that range. Some things, some stress is causing some degradation in that. But the organ itself, according to what he tested, was healthy and normal. I still have the sort of the fear of going to a traditional ophthalmologist. I have so much trauma from my retinal detachment and all that. So I still am afraid to go into that mode, into that sort of physician,
Right.
So that's where I am.
Okay. All right. That gives me a lot to work with. So, are you wearing the -4 in that right eye?
I'm wearing contact lenses right now. It's -5 on the left and -7 on the right.
Okay, -7.
Just, yeah.
Yeah. So, so here are a couple of things, just right off the bat. Do you ever go without your lenses at all?
During the day, in my house, for example, if I don't have to drive or go to work, I wear 4x4, meaning the lower prescription eyeglasses.
Okay, 4x4. And when you
just I feel uncomfortable. Maybe I'm just more comfortable at those lower prescription, just to go around the house and just take the dog out and just do daily stuff. So I'm not that comfortable. I can, of course, do it if there's going to be help from it.
Have you tried the 5 in the right eye for contact, 5 and 5?
No, I have not. No.
Well, so I'm going to give you some ideas, and then you can experiment with this. So, in all ways, also, you could come to Santa Fe sometime if you needed to.
Yeah,
I could look into your eyes.
I requested.
That might be.
Yeah,
oh, you did. Yes,
I think we have. Yeah,
that.
We have a November 14, one of those weeks, Monday setup. Yeah.
Just to make sure, rule out things like cataracts and that kind of thing. Hey, I'm all with you about the eye doctors. The eye doctors create more trauma for people, and I can understand why you don't want to go, because it's definitely hard. Okay, so here's a way to test your fovea in the right eye, and that would be, I don't know if you've tried this, but with no lenses on, and you cover the left eye, and you bring the print as close as you need to so that you're able to see it. And if you can see it clearly, even if it's at 5 inches, that tells you that the fovea is doing well, and there's acuity. So that's one thing that you can try, and I would be willing to bet that if you took the lenses off and you held the print close to your right eye, that it would be clear, and that would tell you that at least the fovea is working well, and that would be a way for you to test that out. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I would experiment with -5 in each eye for contacts. And 7 is pretty high for you. And what 5 is going to do is it's going to take stress off the eye structure. It may not help much for the acuity. I mean, it should help you up close to some degree, but I would rather you be in 5 and 5 than 7 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that would be at least some. And you could even do kinesiology with that one, where you take that to your kinesiologist, because sometimes I will do kinesiology on lens prescriptions, and I find that when it's the same prescription in each eye, the kinesiology is more positive than when you correct the eyes differently. So that's an energetic. Remember, the higher the number, when you go to 7 in the right, you're going to be more compressed and tighter on that side. That's what it does energetically.
I see.
And it reinforces the tension pattern more. We can worry about acuity somewhere else. But I think 5 and 5 would be about as high as I would go, just to just for relaxation and possibly better integration between the eye brain connection.
Do you feel I should just go with a 0 on the right, just no contact at all, and would that be better?
No. I think that your right eye is going to need some engagement, otherwise it's going to withdraw.
Right.
Okay. Now, in a setting where you're home, what I would do is I would go to the drugstore and I'd get an eye patch. And I would take a few minutes, no more than that, but a few minutes, and I would just patch the left eye and make the right eye work. Walk with it, look around with it. And this is the sequence of the exercise. You put the patch over the left eye, no lenses now, no lenses at all. And you patch the left eye for a few minutes and you just do things. Again, it's part of this, be curious about what you do see through the right eye. It's very easy for us to go mentally into, well, this is what I don't see. This is what's blurry. This is what's blah, whatever it is. But the mental part of this is, what can I do and what can I see? Those would be your questions. And the third thing would be, what do I feel? What can I do? What can I see? And what can I feel? Just for a few minutes. I don't want you to do it for long. And just be curious about, how is this different? And then at the end of that time, that timer, ding, goes off. You take the patch off the left eye, and I want you to take 30 seconds. And I want you to look around the room, look out the window, whatever it is. And I want you to notice how your clarity is. I want you to notice the quality of the light. Is it bright? I want you to notice the clarity. I want you to notice the peripheral. When you wear patch for a few minutes and then you take the patch off, I'm going to give you the answer here. What usually happens is people will say, oh, when I take the patch off, things are brighter, things are clearer, I have more peripheral vision, and I'm more relaxed. Because the patch is disrupting your habit. You have a very strong habit, which is about fear, tightening, compression, pulling in, defensiveness. That's what nearsightedness is. That's the attitude, that's the belief system. And it's very easy for you to go into that brain track. Just like, this is myopia. But when you wear that patch without the lens and then you take it off, you are going to see improvement. You're going to see, oh, it's clearer, it's brighter, there's more periphery, I'm more relaxed. I want you to look for that. And then you do the same thing over the other eye. You patch the right eye, and for a few minutes, you look for the left eye. Same thing. Then you take the patch off after a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes max. And you, again, what do I see? What do I feel? What am I seeing? What's different? And do that twice a day. I would do it twice a day, morning and evening. Just as it's your yoga practice now. This is eye yoga. You're just wearing this patch, and you're learning. So that's number one. Now, number two, in addition to that, I don't know if we talked about this, but you can go to the drugstore and you can get yourself the strongest magnification lens that sell. And you buy it. It's usually like a +3 or 3.5. You bring it home and you do the same thing, except now you wear the patch and then you wear the glasses. And that's going to increase the blur. It's going to put you into more blur.
Right.
But what it does is it spreads the light into the peripheral retina so that you're going to get to the light is going to get to places in the eyeball that you never can get to because you're very focal because of your myopia. The light focuses the lens in a very small area, basically the fovea, that's it.
Right.
Okay, so you do that for, again, 2 to 3, maybe a minute. That's it, just a minute. Okay. And notice your emotions around the blur, what you don't like about it, and, oh my God, I'm out of control, or whatever your programming is. It's going to show you what you don't like. And then you take it off, and you immediately look through that eye, and you're going to make a comparison again, and you're going to notice that, I think it's clearer now. I think I've got more clarity. And you do it like 3 times on that right eye. Okay. And then you can do it 3 times on the left eye. But wearing the opposite lens prescription is a way for you to break the myopia habit. And I got to tell you, I used to be very nearsighted. I used to wear -3 with astigmatism, wasn't quite as much as yours. And I don't wear anything. I haven't worn nearsighted lenses in 35 years because I healed my myopia. And I still see it sometimes. I still see where I still have emotional myopia.
Yeah.
It comes up for me.
Correct.
I don't have it physically, but I have it emotionally and spiritually. And so I'm still working on that because myopia, the major emotion is I don't trust myself. I'm in fear. I'm defensive. That's what starts the myopia to begin with. And it runs deep. It's a soul pattern. Right. It's not just in the eyeball. It's soul. I can talk to you like this because you get it. I really want to honor your vulnerability and your emotional awareness because really, the more emotionally vulnerable you can be in this, that's how you heal it. Because nearsighted people don't want to address their emotional myopia, but that's really what's driving this. And when your kinesiologist says, physically it looks good, this is something else, I totally agree with that. I mean, it's right on. He's whoever you're going to is reading you very well. Anyways, those 2 exercises, the -5 in each eye, and then getting the patch and the plus lenses, will empower you to move the needle on this blurriness and to test your right eye by reading things with the right eye with no lenses, so you're working that fovea. I don't know if you've ever even tried that, but, I bet you see things very clearly with the right eye. You just have to bring it close. That would be the test.
Right.
And,
how big the letters, just normal text?
Well, I think start, you have to play with that.
Okay.
Maybe start with 26 point.
Okay.
type something out on your computer and print it.
Right. Right.
If that's easy, then go to 14 point. See if you can go down to 7 or 8 point. I mean, nearsighted people, the part of their vision that is the part of their acuity that's very good is up close. They're very efficient
Right.
at near. That's their strength.
Correct.
Right. So I think and it's a good exercise for you to do a minute or two of that right eye, just exercising the fovea. And it doesn't matter if it's 4 inches or 7 inches, and the distance from your eye tells you how much lens you need for distance. That's how we calculate it. So what you can do with that is see if you can move the print a little farther out. I mean, you could even do this on your phone or iPad, where you can change the size of the font. And I would play around with that. I think that's good. Now, another thing that I would consider is, if you haven't already, and maybe you wait till you get here, but I would start using my MSM eye drops. The MSM drops detox the eye. And I still think, based on the retinal detachment and the chemicals and the pharmaceuticals they used, number one, there may be some scar tissue. And number two, there may be some pharmaceutical residue that's still there. And the MSM drops, so MSM has sulfur. It's a sulfur molecule. And sulfur is like sticky flypaper. So anything that molecule attaches to, it gets flushed out of the eye.
Oh, I see.
So,
do the eye baths with that? The one you shared the video today?
You can do eye bath, you can do eye massage.
Okay.
In other words, I think you want to start, you want to start using the MSM. Another eye drop that can be helpful would be like the homeopathic eye drop. You'd have to see, there's Optique, there's Similacin, and I'm releasing a new eye drop very soon. I was just talking with my manufacturer today. It's a castor oil eye drop. And castor oil is another one of these magical plant-based substances that heals the skin. It's anti-inflammatory. And I use it a lot for getting rid of dryness in the eyes. So this is going to come to the scene in a couple of weeks. It's all organic, 100%. So we're getting it certified, and I'm using it right now. I really like it. I use it before bed, and it's just very lubricating and moisturizing. That would be another thing that's possible for you. And if you think that there is scar tissue, you could run this by your kinesiologist, but there's a digestive enzyme that dissolves scar tissue in the eye.
Oh, I see.
And it's called serapeptase. I'm going to put it in the chat here. It's spelled serapeptase, serapeptase. So you could ask your kinesiologist. Another one that we use, nattokinase. That's another one that you could ask. I love the kinesiology part of it because, I can suggest some things to you, and then you could get it tested. Some other things that, the body, see what the body says. And some other things that are very good based on this cloudiness would be glutathione. That's a good one. And there's another one. I'm not sure you need this one, but it's a vitamin E It's called vitamin E. So those are really neuroprotective for the retina. And, some other ones, since you've had the problem with the retina, lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin, and then, of course, your vitamin A. But here's the thing. You want to make sure your liver is producing enough bile, because bile, which is then stored in the gallbladder, helps you absorb the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A and lutein and zeaxanthin. So those are things your kinesiologist could check out. I'm very into Ayurveda, so I think that all of those things are great. I mean, I've had ghee baths in my eyes. I'm not sure I recommend that for you. It's kind of intense, but I do know that some.
Yeah, I have a ghee eye drop I'm using. I'll share that with you later.
Great.
It has ghee and some other herbs in it, and it's very
excellent,
softening. I'm using it for a few months now.
So that's good for the retina. Again, I think that those are some great things. And then there's something else I want to clue you in on, and it's called red light therapy. And there was a study that was published by this researcher who works with red light, so that's 670 nanometers. And he did this study and he reported it, and he said that when people look at the red light 3 to 4 minutes in the morning every day, it improved their retina health. It regenerated. And it's if you resonate with this, there is a company in the UK that sells a red light pair of glasses that you could use.
I have done.
So let me see.
When I saw you last time, you had given me a little kit with different lenses, and I did. I remember green. You said green will help reduce the fluid behind the retina, and so I remember doing green therapy at that point of time. So I'll LED is okay, right? LED light, or you want
a red light.
Okay.
So you have to see the brightness of it. So you can always do it with your eyes closed to start with, because the eyelids will allow some of the light in.
Yeah.
But the way the red light works is this. So the mitochondria, which are the energy producers of the body that produce ATP, they are in a very high concentration in the retina. Mitochondria, retina. And when a person starts having retina issues, there's oxidative stress, there's inflammation, there's, those kinds of things. What the mitochondria does, if it's working well, it neutralizes or eliminates the oxidative damage, and it reduces inflammation. And more doctors are using red light as a way to reduce like joint pain or heal skin issues, create more energy, improve the immune system, on and on and on. There's more and more practitioners that are going to that energy medicine type of thing. So, I present that to you as a possibility, because it's all about the mitochondria. When the mitochondria are working well, let's see, here they are. I'm going to send you the link to the red light glasses here on the chat. And and the thing is that, if you want to do it, if you get a yes, then there it is. It's i-power.co.uk. So it's a cool technology. I wish they had it in the US, but not yet.
Mm.
So think mitochondria. So now mitochondria, CoQ10, alpha lipoic acid. Those are also some other things that support mitochondria function. And then the other thing is, I don't know whether you've done this. I just saw my patient before you, and that is your relationship to the blue light that comes off of screens.
Mm-hmm.
Have you explored that at all? Do you know about that?
Yeah,
Blue
I
light?
have, and on my phone at least, I have turned that off. I go into the softer tone.
Okay.
And I don't do much of computer use. I mostly do phone and voice calls, that kind of work. And so I'm aware of that, and I try to use softer light at night. Try to reduce white at night. And so but I've not worn any glasses like blue light filter glasses yet. But
well, I'll give you the name of a company, OcuShield. You can actually get a shield to put on the phone. I have one on mine. It's very good. I could test you out when you come here. I have a lot of blue blocking glasses, and you could get a pair of those also. But we can wait on that. I want you to be careful with the blue light because it tends to dry the retina out. And it's a chaotic frequency. It's like going to a tanning salon, except, you're only going for a few minutes, protecting yourself. But, when you're on a screen, hours and hours and hours, that blue light can have an effect. So you just want to protect yourself. Another thing that's coming to me that I just want you to check it, and it's probably fine, is your vitamin D. Vitamin D, of course, we hear a lot of things about immune health, and even it's been associated with COVID and, those kinds of things. But actually, vitamin D is very important for retina health. It's not really talked about very much. So, you might check in with your kinesiology person and just say, how are my vitamin D levels? Do I need to up those? Because that also helps the retina. And then the last one that I'm going to share is, 50% of the retina is made up of fatty acids. And so your omega-3s are really important, especially the DHA part of the omega-3. Again, I can point you to a number of studies which say the DHA part of the omega-3 is important for nerve health, brain health, eye health, optic nerve, retina. And since 50% of the retina is fatty acids, we cannot produce that in the body. We have to get that from outside sources. That's, I want you to at least make sure you're getting some good fats and oils into your body. I would imagine you are. Ghee is omega-6. It's not omega-3. You want to make sure you get
flax seeds. Okay. Chia
flax has more than flax.
Okay.
So there are even algae-based omega-3s, which are vegan. You do that as well. But just be aware of the fats, the omega-3 fats, because they're really important for the retina and optic nerve. Anti-inflammatory, good for the heart, on and on and on. So those would be some things that I would say. So
you mind typing the few things you said, lutein and a couple of other things you said are good for mitochondria health?
Yes, very much so. And also they protect you from the blue light. They're also just really good for the retina. They're pigments, plant pigments. Now, astaxanthin is marine carotenoid, but lutein and zeaxanthin, they're the red, orange, yellow, green plant pigments. And they're very important for the retina. You want to get about 16 milligrams a day of lutein and about 6 milligrams a day of zeaxanthin. You could do my eye vitamin. It's excellent. And it would give you the vitamin A, the bilberry, ginkgo, which is good for the vascular circulation in the retina. The trace minerals are also in my eye vitamin, and you get the lutein zeaxanthin vitamin A. The B vitamin is also good for the cornea, so I put a little bit of that in there. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, which is a powerhouse antioxidant, so that you're getting a lot of concentrated antioxidants, and then of course you've got your foods as well. But those would be some things to do. Let me ask you about your liver health. How do you think the liver is working?
What are some of the things that are indicative? I do feel so I'm trying to avoid white flour, white bread, like that kind of food. And whenever I feel I eat those foods, I feel a tightness in like this area, the right below the rib cage.
I see.
And it's not all the time, and it doesn't manifest or feel there all the time. But any detox on the liver, I'm taking, although I should be regular at it, Ayurvedic detox that my Ayurvedic doctor gave me for liver. She asked me to take a spoon a day at night. But is there anything else I would definitely?
Well, for liver support,
just detox or support.
I would say the one that I would probably look for would be milk thistle.
I see.
Milk thistle is very good for liver support. Another one would be golden seal. So there are herbal companies that will sell a milk thistle tincture, and you do the detox for maybe a week or two. You can do a liquid in some water. It just depends on what form you want, but that would be a way for you to easily kind of cleanse your liver without too much difficulty. The thing with the liver is that what I find with some people is they're not producing enough of this bile, and the bile is so important for the fat soluble. Or eat a meal where you're eating some fats at the meal, like ghee would be an example.
Yeah, that's what I do. So I've been asked to take around 5 spoons of ghee, and I'm using A2, not the Jersey GMO milk, but A2 ghee. And so around 5 teaspoons a day of that.
What are your doshas? What is your main dosha? Do you know? Or
I believe Pitta is predominant and Kapha.
Pitta Kapha.
Yeah.
So I think dairy is fine for you. Dairy is good, and with Pitta, that it really feeds into the myopia part of it, because there's that real mental activity, and you run hot, right? So. That it's good to know that. I would agree with what your practitioner found. It's the Pitta part of you that's really where the myopia is, and so any way that you can soften that Pitta or balance it, I think you are also helping your myopia. I know that's probably not something that the Ayurvedic people would say, but since I've studied Ayurveda and, different, like for farsightedness, that's more kapha. It's interesting. It's just a different situation. But
so that's why
anyway,
the ghee therapy, they said the ghee drops in the eyes, and then the 5 or 6 spoons, around 550 grams a day of ghee. And with warm water is what they suggested to pacify.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
It's perfect.
And I try to not eat until I'm hungry. So I kind of let intermittent fasting use to just detox my system.
Yeah, good.
So
Yeah, the intermittent fasting also would be very good for you, I would say. So, um, so on a biochemical level, you're really supporting yourself well. You might, if this blurriness and the glare and the whatever you're experiencing, this is where it's partly functional and emotional. This is where you've got to do some direct things to the eyes to create more flexibility or fluidity. Because myopia is about being fixed. I'm fixed in one position, and again, you've done some great work on it, and I think I just remember some of the things that we did when you were here, and so I'm going to show you a chart right now. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to send this chart to you. Let me get it up. Okay, and then see if I can share my screen. So what you're going to see is a chart with E's on it and cross. You got two circles here. I'm going to email this to you, and you can print it out. But right now, what you can do is you can take your thumb and you can put it in the middle of the two circles at about this far away from your face, maybe a little closer than that, and focus on the thumb and see if you can get 3 circles. So you're crossing your eyes here. You're crossing your eyes, you're focusing on the thumb, and you're seeing if you can make those 2 black circles into a 3rd black circle. Now, I don't know whether you can do this, but what the hell, let's give it a try.
Yeah, I see a 3rd, but it's very faded.
That's okay. That's fine. So now there's a new paragraph that's created in the center part of the circle. So you got 3 circles, one's faded, but the one in the middle, or the one that is below the thumb, I want you to be able to read that paragraph like I'm doing it now, and I can see, cross your eyes, clear this print, hold a pen or a point up halfway to this page. Can you see that paragraph? Can you read the words?
With the 3 dots, it's hard.
That's okay. So that's going to be your homework. And what that does is that exercises the muscles in a really good way. So I'd like you to spend a few minutes, maybe even a minute, a few times a day. And I'd like you to do it with the -5s and the -4s.
Okay.
With both of those.
And the finger should hide the dots, or they should, because the finger can hide.
It should be like kind of right in the, I usually do it like right below the dots in the middle between.
I see.
Yeah, below, so you're not covering.
I see.
If I go high, then I'm covering it. So I'm below it. And I don't even need my finger after a while. I can cross my eyes and get 3. This one will help the first one.
I see. So if I go really close, like an inch, I can read the O-N.
Yeah, exactly.
AERB
right.
and O-N-A-K. And
right. So I would do that with the paper. I wouldn't do it with the computer. Again, that exercises the fovea. That's very good for the right eye to do that. So you're doing kind of a range here. So we're giving the right eye more broad range, which is up close with the fovea, and then the blurry glasses with the patch.
Right.
So you're getting more of the eyeball involved. I think right now you're very narrow and mono in the right eye, and the left eye just takes over.
Yeah.
The brain just says, this is what people do. They just let the good eye do the work. And so the patching and creating new input in the eyes is really what you need. You become more broadband. And I think that's part of the problem now. You need to stimulate and create a wider frequency of experience. And when you do that, the plasticity of the eye, the regeneration potential can work better. You know, you don't regenerate anything if you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Right. So that's the philosophy behind it. And I'd like you to work really hard between now and when you come. It's like you're in training now to be able to come to see me. And I want to see you at a different place so that when you come, then I can give you some really advanced things. So this is like your warm up. You got to do this every day. This is part of your calisthenics, part of your spiritual practice, part of your eye yoga. Because your eyes are your spiritual teacher. Your eyes are saying, okay, I need to expand my consciousness. So I think if you think of it that way, I'm going to stop the share. Then that's really what's needed here. Get the eye drops, check in with the nutrients, check in with the red light, check in, you know, and really take the next 6 weeks and go, all right, let me see what I can do here. Because you did respond positively to what we did when you came to see me. And I think it's time to take it to the next level. That's all. It was a good check-in. So we're coming down. We have about 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. Any other questions or things we need to tie up?
No, just, I mean, one other fear which is driving is when I want to renew my driver's license, right? They take a vision test, and I'm really scared of that because, you know, it's gonna, I don't know. I think they need both eyes 20/40 at least, or something.
No, that's not true. You could look it up, but I think it's best eye acuity. I don't think you need to have both eyes. I think it's just best eye, best corrected. So here's what you do: go on the internet and download a Snellen SNELLEN visual acuity chart. Print it out. Put it on your wall 20 feet away and start reading it. And play around with the 5s, the 4s, the 7, and just practice. And that will give you the confidence. And then when you come here, I can help you with that. But no, it's best visual acuity in one eye, and it's corrected lenses. But you should be okay with that.
I thought California, at least when the test, they say, test it with both eyes, one closed, one closed.
They might, but I think it's best both eyes together. They're measuring both eyes, but you know, if your left eye can get to 20/20 or 20/30, you're good. You know?
Right.
So I think that's how they do it. But we'll practice that, and then when you come here, I can help you with that.
Okay. And then nitrous oxide, I'm just taking the beet powder. Is that okay to continue?
Yeah,
I heard.
Yeah, it's great.
Because I didn't know whether there was some residue behind the retina. What's causing this? It was very, because it was so related to this emotional thing that I felt. And then when I am angry, I feel more blurry in the right eye when I'm either stressed or angry. So I've noticed that, and so feel more.
I got to tell you, the emotions are going to affect your acuity a lot. And this even says to me, are you even this nearsighted, or is it just if you really release the emotion, you wouldn't even be nearsighted anymore. So this has artificially been created. It's driven emotionally. So that's kind of how I see it. But you're going to have fluctuations, and you know the emotions when you're stressed, you're probably not going to see as well. And that's part of the deal.
All right. So I think I'll order the vitamin eye nutrition and the drops from your website or maybe through Monica. And then I'll work on all these things. If it's possible, just I think what you said was to just recap, or you can type it, is the blur lens, then the patch 5 minutes a day, twice a day.
Correct.
And feel what your, the increase or reduction in clarity, just more emotionally. Red eye therapy twice, or at least in the morning for 5 minutes. Both eyes or just the right eye?
Both eyes. Okay. And you're gonna get this recording, so you'll have it on. You'll have it, so you'll have everything there. I'm going to send that to you, and I think you've got it.
Okay,
I think you've got it. All right. If you have any other questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you when you come here and do your work, and we'll check in when you're here.
Okay, will do. Thank you. See you then.
See ya. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from the EyeClarity podcast show today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. See you here next time.